Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Career Force's virtual career fair for Monday, October 5th, 2020. Before we get started, our housekeeping details. Please ask questions by typing in the Q&A box. That's the box with the little question mark in it. You can turn on subtitles by clicking on CC, closed captioning, and then choosing English, Arabic, Spanish, or a couple of other languages. I will be putting in a link to an attendance form in the Q&A area. Please sign in so that I know that you are here. This is equivalent to walking into a conference room and signing your name on a piece of paper showing that you've pre-registered. So I'm so glad to have you here. Behind the scenes, who will be helping me today is Pat Buxengart from Career Force Winona. So welcome, Pat. And today, too, we've got a very special topic of manufacturing, and I'm very happy to welcome our Deputy Commissioner Hamza Warfa of Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. Good morning, Deputy Commissioner Warfa.
Good morning, Liz. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank Liz for facilitating this career fair for us, and as you always do every week, thank you so much. And also, of course, I want to thank all of our employers who are participating in today's virtual career fair. Welcome. I want to welcome also everyone. This is an exciting topic and really aligns well with the month that we're in. As most of you know that we mark this month as the manufacturing month. And manufacturing, plays really an important role in our economy as a state. As an example, last year alone, this industry contributed $52.7 billion to our economy. And so it's really an exciting morning and topic. And we hope that sometimes, as the matchmaker between job seekers and employers, we like when the topic aligns with the month's theme and focus. And so very happy that we're doing this virtual career fair today. As I said, this is a really big industry, probably I think the second after healthcare in terms of jobs. Minnesota has nearly 324,000 jobs in manufacturing with a total payroll of $22 billion. And so and statewide, manufacturing accounts for about 13% of our private sector jobs. But in some counties, it really accounts much greater share of the jobs. For example, in Roseo County, home to the water-based Marvin Windows facility, as well as several other manufacturers, manufacturing jobs make up about 58% of employment in just that county alone. And so manufacturing, is well-paying jobs, family-sustaining income, often I think 16% higher than our average wage in the state. The average annual wage of manufacturing jobs is about $68,000. And so we recognize the importance of this industry and the critical role that it plays. And so I just want to say thank you again, and we'll turn over to Liz. And I look forward to rest of the virtual career fair. Thanks, Liz.
Thank you very much for kicking it off. Everyone at Career Force and Indeed are so happy to celebrate Manufacturing Week and Manufacturing Month. Typically this month there are tours of manufacturing where communities and students can get to see the insides and the workings of all of our Minnesota companies. Unfortunately, this is taking a little bit different point of view this year with virtual tours, but the good news is then you can watch the tour from your home, from your smartphone or device, on a YouTube link. So let me know if you need more information about that. This morning, I'm so happy to welcome these 5 companies: FASTENAL, Marvin, Diasorin, Sanimax, and Michael Foods. Let's get going right away and welcome Willie Luban with FASTENAL in Winona. Hi, Willie.
How you doing, Liz?
Good, thanks. All yours.
All right. Well, as Liz said, my name is Willie Luban. I am coming to you from Winona, Minnesota, home of FASTENAL and FASTENAL Manufacturing. So a little bit about FASTENAL is on the next screen here. We're a $5 billion company that is started in Winona, Minnesota, back in 1967. So we're on about 52 years or 53 years this fall. And we've really been a growth company from day one. Folks that I run into on the street that know of FASTENAL typically will say, yeah, we understand, what FASTENAL is. They sell nuts and bolts and things like that. And that is true. As a bread and butter of our company, we sell fasteners, safety supplies, tools, and other products. Typically, we're a business-to-business sale. So we're selling industrial products to other businesses that make their businesses grow. So you can see from the slide that we've got up, we've got just over, or just under 22,000 employees now. We are in we're in 28 different countries. We've got approximately 3,000, a little over 3,000 locations. Some of those are retail branches, and others are actually in-store branches where customers actually have a FASTENAL store right within the walls of their building. So other manufacturers might have a tool crib or a industry or a supply chain partner to make sure that they have the products that they need to make their product. And we actually, go right into the store with them. So that's a little bit about FASTENAL as a whole. What I'm here today to talk a little bit more about is our manufacturing division. And most people that hear FASTENAL manufacturing, they're able to put together, well, you must make the nuts and bolts that the stores sell. And that is absolutely not correct. The stuff that we make in our manufacturing facilities is all custom made to order parts for our customers. You can see some of the different industries that we service. Oil and gas is a big one, food and beverage, power generation, pulp and paper, heavy equipment. Kind of the fun ones sometimes are the amusement park rides and that sort of thing. We really are not a shop that focuses on the half-inch bolts that you get from the standard shelf. If you're looking for a standard product, our stores can definitely help with that. But if you're looking for something that's special, that's where we really come in. So of our 2,800 or 3,000 locations, that's where we get our business from. People will come into those stores, say in, a store in Roseau, Minnesota would come in and say, hey, I'm looking for this unique fastener. If it's not in our catalog, then we say we can take a look at it in our manufacturing division, and they'll send us either a sample of the part, or they might send us the blueprint if they have one, and we will actually quote it for them and then proceed to make it if the order and timeline are in the customer's favor. So let's go to the next slide, Liz. Some of the different careers that FASTENAL has, obviously we've got the sales sort of thing, and this is broader FASTENAL, again, marketing, operation, distribution, truck driving, and engineering. So the cool thing about FASTENAL is that we've basically got about every type of career that you could imagine, other than maybe cosmetology and healthcare right now. You know, and I say that right now because who knows in the future. I know John Deere is a big company and they've got their own healthcare system for their employees. So, you know, maybe someday that goes into the effect as well. But for now, careers at Fastenal are really varied, depending on where you're looking. If you're looking in Southeast Minnesota, obviously our headquarters is here in Winona, and we've got all of these opportunities and more here in Winona. We've got, you know, IT and, you know, distribution and all that stuff. If you're kind of outstate or you're in some of the more remote areas of the country that maybe don't have as much going on Fastenal wise, there's always sales roles. There's always roles in branches. And most of those branches are actually located pretty close to customers. So we've got branches in large cities and even small cities. So Fastenal is a really great company if you're looking for, you know, any type of career. So to get back to the manufacturing type of careers, what I'm looking for here in Winona is mainly I'm looking for that machinist type person, a hands-on type person who likes to create and do, maybe get a set of blueprints, follow those as instructions, and be able to create a part. Our machinists start with a raw material. They program the machine, they set up the machine, and they operate the machine until the parts are created and made. They're often the person that's boxing them up and the last person to touch those parts before the customer gets them. We operate about 100 CNC machines here in Winona. Most of our equipment is CNC equipment, but we also have some manual stuff, and we have some other operations in the building, such as heat treatment. Parts that go through our hot forging process typically get a heat treatment. We do that right in-house. We've got a coating line that puts a rust-resistant coating onto the fastener. And then we've got material handlers that help move our product within our facility. We've got shipping and receiving to get that product out. We've got quality control, CAD, you know, sales, inside sales for our machinists and our for our custom manufactured parts. We've got tool room machinists. Those machinists actually make the tooling that we use as machinists on the shop floor. And then you get into some of the higher level stuff too, the team leads, production managers, operation managers. The cool thing that I think about when I came here as a person off the street was that all of our managers, they typically start at that entry level machinist position. So we don't hire managers from the outside to come in to our company. And that's really a company-wide thing. We're a growth from within company. So if you have, you know, an aspiration to grow within your career, there are opportunities all over for that. What do you need to be a machinist? You know, there are education opportunities available. There's a 2-year tool and die degree. There's also on-the-job training. Myself, when I started here, I had a background in, you know, kind of not necessarily CNC machining, but I had a background in shop. I was actually a shop and an agriculture teacher for 5 years before I came here. And I was bringing students through our facility here in Winona as tours for potential career paths for them in the future. And I kind of got the bug and got hooked and decided, where do I start? I started as a machinist on the floor, just like everybody else. So I did all my training on the job. I had a pretty good background with math. I understood the Artesian coordinate system, which is really what it takes to make a CNC go. You plot your tool path from point to point using that graph system. You know, other things, attention to detail, ability to learn. You know, we really strive to build folks up. And, you know, the honest to gosh truth is that most people coming in off the street aren't going to be able to hop on a CNC machine and be able to run it from day one. So we've got a pretty stout internal training system. We also have a program that works with the local technical college to sponsor you to go through that 2-year tool and die degree program if you would like. The way that works is you work in the shop for part-time, or some people do it full-time, but we work in the shop 2 years and complete that degree. After completion, as long as you've got excellent attendance and you've made a B or better average on your transcript, we start paying that tuition and books back. We pay 25% of the tuition and books every 6 months until it's paid for. So basically, when you're done with that, you've had a 4-year track record with FASTENAL, and you also have your books and tuition completely paid for. Liz, if you want to hit the next one. So
we're almost out of time too.
Yep, that's what I was kind of figuring. We're getting to the end. So daily activities, like I kind of told you before, blueprint reading, machine setup, you know, inspection of parts is big. We make parts that are safety critical. They're going on to roller coasters, for instance. A pin that holds a roller coaster wheel on is something that you do not want to break in operation. So, you know, that attention to detail and being able to make those exacting measurements is key. So, again, we can train people to get to that point where they need. We just are looking for people that are looking for a career. It takes a little bit of time to get through that training. So, Liz, if you want to hit the last one, and we'll kind of wrap it up with that. Any interest in these types of careers at FASTENAL Manufacturing? I didn't mention earlier, we have 9 manufacturing facilities, 6 are in the States and 3 are overseas. So any information, you can reach out to me at wluban@fastenal.com, or you can also see the openings at careers.fastenal.com.
Okay, thank you, Willie. That's great. I did have one question here. Do you need a SolidWorks Pro engineer? You know, do you use that software?
Right now, so, you know, that's another thing that typically we, you know, our CAD department is small. All of our prints that we make go through our CAD department. Right now, we're not necessarily looking for something like that, but in the future, there are opportunities for positions like that. Typically, since it's a small team, it is one of those things that if somebody is interested in working for the company and wants to get into one of those roles, I would encourage them to consider maybe taking an entry-level machinist role if that was something that they were interested in, and starting their career there, because obviously those smaller teams and things like that, being a growth from within company, we've got a few people on the floor typically that have a background in SolidWorks CAD CAM. I know of one student right now that just finished school, and he's been doing some machining for us. And I tell everybody too, you know, the CAD guys, if you can run a machine and you spend a couple of years machining, it's going to make you a better CAD CAM guy down the road for us or anybody else.
Great, great. Are there any positions in FASTENAL available in the Twin Cities area?
Again, in the Twin Cities, we're going to be looking at more of, you know, those sales types operations. FASTENAL is, you know, it's interesting with the COVID stuff going on. We're starting to divulge into more of the off-site stuff for maybe like IT and some of the other support positions I know have been, you know, working remotely from home. So those opportunities, you know, into the corporate aspect of FASTENAL may in the future be expanded just through virtual and being able to work remotely. But right now, I would say if you're looking for something in the cities, if you go to that careers.fastenal.com and you can put in an address or I guess a zip code, and then you can put in a radius, and that would be your best way to find out what's available near you.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Willie, for joining us today. This is great. Yeah,
My
when
pleasure.
I thought of fasteners too. I thought of nuts and bolts, but you do so much more.
Yep.
Good. Welcome next to Marvin. We have Eric Rasmussen joining us today. Good morning, Eric.
Hey, good morning, Liz. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, loud and clear.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Liz, and good morning to everyone. Again, my name is Eric Rasmussen, and I am the Senior Manager of Talent Acquisition at Marvin. I'm so excited to be connecting with everyone today. Really looking forward to sharing this information. So a little bit about us. Marvin is headquartered in Warroad, Minnesota. So if you're not familiar, that's about 6 miles from the Canadian border. So we're way up north. We're located on beautiful Lake of the Woods. It's really a paradise for outdoor activities. But what we do, we manufacture windows and doors, among other things. We have skylights and some other products as well. Our products are all made to order, which is why you would not have seen them in any big box stores. The size, shape, color, type of windows, they're all produced once a customer puts in an order. So in total, we manufacture over 500 unique products. So on the next slide, a little more about us. Marvin, the company, was established in 1912 in Warroad, Minnesota. So we've been around for over 100 years. Family owned and operated. We're currently being led by the 4th generation of Marvin's, and we're really proud to remain family owned and operated. We have about 5,500 employees across 16 cities, and just a few awards that we've earned over the years. America's most ethical large company by the Foundation of Financial Services Professionals. #1 in JD Power and customer satisfaction for our Infinity replacement windows, and a top 50 most generous workplace, and that was awarded by the United Way. So on to the next slide. It's just a quick snapshot of our locations and our reach. You know, Marvin really focuses on building communities in the locations that we operate in. So we commit to long-lasting relationships with our employees, but also our customers, partners, communities. We really strive to be there for people when they need us most. Our manufacturing and operations are as far north as Warroad, Minnesota, like we mentioned, but we go as far south as Delray Beach, Florida. We have various openings in nearly all of our locations. Tons of opportunities to learn and grow with the company. So on the next slide, just a snapshot of our openings. We're really excited that we're continuing to grow and that we're hiring. The majority of our openings in all locations are going to be within, you know, the roles listed on the page here: production, forklift, quality, shipping, maintenance, supervisor roles. You know, we have HR and talent acquisition, but we do have other departments like accounting and supply chain, engineering and truck driving. So there are a lot of other opportunities as well. All of our available openings are listed on our careers page, which is marvin.com/careers, but that'll be in a later slide as well. So on the next slide, just a snapshot of some of the benefits that we provide for our career opportunities. So full-time associates have an opportunity to enjoy our benefits packages and programs. We really see it as a way for the company to give back to the employees for the contributions that they make to the company's success. So some of the benefits included are health, dental, vision. You have your 401k, PTO, relocation, and profit sharing, which is a huge bonus. More details on the benefits information is also listed on our careers page. Our core values, just wanted to quickly share our core values since they drive our decisions and our daily activities. You know, do the right thing, be stronger together, think differently, raise the bar, and believe it's possible. As a company, we're regularly referencing these to ensure that we're following our values. And when we're bringing people onto the team, the values are used just to make sure that we're bringing people into Marvin that really align with our values and our vision. So just wanted to quickly share those. So in closing, some ways to connect with what's happening at Marvin. You have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I'd really like to point out our careers page on the top there, since it was referenced a few times in the slides with our openings and some benefits information. So I just really appreciate everybody's time today. It's been great sharing some information on Marvin, and I'd encourage you to reach out to me if you have any questions or would like any additional information. My email on the right there is f_EricR@marvin.com. That F is for Fargo, which is my primary location. So f_EricR@marvin.com. And thanks again to everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you, Eric. How many positions do you think you have open right now within Minnesota itself?
Yeah, oof. Well, across the United States, we have about 131. In Minnesota, we operate in Warroad and Eagan, which is primarily houses some of our corporate functions, so not as much manufacturing. I'd hate to give a rough estimate that is completely off, but I'd say somewhere around 50. But keep in mind that there can be multiple openings per location, especially when it comes to our manufacturing openings.
Right. So there's plenty of opportunity. And, you know, I always say that there are so many different jobs available in manufacturing, as you pointed out, and Willie pointed out too in FASTENAL, that, you know, you don't just have to be a machinist. There are so many different options and career paths.
Yeah, those support departments are just as important as the manufacturing. I mean, it all plays a big part in the success. So yeah, engineering, HR, accounting. I mean, there's so many that I didn't even reference. But yeah, that's what's great about the careers page. You can take a look and sort it by job category too, if you wanted to look at different departments and stuff too.
Now, how does Marvin approach career pathways, you know, starting from the bottom and going up versus hiring right, you know, into a managerial position?
Yeah. I mean, we'll approach it both ways. Our preferred is to grow our internal associates and promote from within. We really like to invest in the tools and the training and the education necessary to grow our internal team members. But that's not to say that we wouldn't, you know, be welcoming of somebody else with the necessary skill and experience as well. So it really just depends on the opportunity. But again, we really prefer to grow the skills and experience of internal employees first.
Great, thank you. Anything else you want to add, Eric?
No, I don't think so.
Good. Well, thank you very much for being here. Marvin has a great name in Minnesota, and I know my windows in this house are Marvin windows. And so, yeah, we appreciate Marvin's service to American and Minnesota business. I'm going to move on now, and we're going to welcome Anu Green from Diasorin. Good morning, Anu.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here today to join you for the virtual career fair. I'm very excited to be part of this process and program. Our organization is headquartered here in Stillwater, Minnesota. We have approximately 300 people in our manufacturing facility here in Stillwater. And what is fantastic about what I'll be sharing with you today is a little bit about who we are, what we're doing, and some of the positions that we presently have going on here in the cities. So what we do primarily is we provide lab diagnostics to hospitals and reference labs. So we provide the instrumentation and the testing to our hospitals and reference labs throughout North America, and we allow our providers to be able to provide customers, patients, the opportunity to really be able to, you know, advocate for themselves. So here in Stillwater, as I mentioned earlier, we have our North American headquarters. Next slide, please, Liz. And what we will be talking a little bit about is some of the opportunities that we have here and what we do. So some of the current opportunities that we presently have are facilities manager, manufacturing technician, customer service associate, and these are just a few that we have here locally in Stillwater today. We offer full benefits, medical, dental, 401k, PTO. We have, you know, a number of other benefits as well, anything from tuition reimbursement, short and long-term disability, parental leave, maternity leave. So we have a number of different things, and salaries vary across the board depending on the positions that you're looking at and your level of experience. Next slide, please. Along with that, we, our organization is also global. And so if you wanted to learn more about our organization, I've included the links as well as, a little bit of putting a name and a face together so that you can see who I am. But feel free to contact myself. I've also included my email as well. To be able to talk about some of our open vacancies, to learn a little bit about more of who we are. It's manufacturing, it's science, it's technology. If you are creative, if you are innovative, if you have a unique mindset and can bring your skill set and determination to the table, that's what we're looking for. We want to be able to help you grow your path in your career, and we can discuss those various opportunities. So feel free to reach out to myself as well, directly via email. I've included that to learn more about our opportunities and continue to check back about the ones that you are interested in. If you don't see what you're looking for, we continue to have them over the course of the month and the weeks. And what's really nice is we're really helping to make an impact on COVID and really be able to, fight that good fight. So thank you so much, Liz, for having me today.
Sure. Hey, question for you. What kind of educational backgrounds are you looking for, like, for instance, in the customer service associate or the facilities manager, the manufacturing technician?
Great question, great question. So from a manufacturing technician, it's a bit of a hands-on experience is what we look for. The ability to really look for efficiencies, troubleshoot, be mechanically inclined, work with your hands, but also have the ability to say, okay, I'm seeing something that looks different that could be improved. So it's qualities you can't see on paper. And, so I'm always open to connecting with folks who have a keen interest in that side of the industry, and maybe their background doesn't necessarily reflect everything. So let's talk about it. For the facilities manager, we are looking for something a little bit more specific with clean room experience, and that comes along with our FDA regulated environments. And so that is often something that we're looking for, in addition to, a little bit of the science side of things. Again, not necessary, not specific. It's not something that can always be called out, but if it can be, we'd like to really address it or help translate it.
And then do you have science research positions, that require like a bachelor's or master's? I thought I saw something on your website.
Yes, that's correct. That is fairly recent. That is a process scientist. We are looking for a molecular biology background, and where the positions are often in full momentum and flux, and I know that they were in final stages there as well. But yes, we're often looking for those with a scientific background, biotechnology, biology, chemistry, any of those fields are also very helpful. Lab assistant, when you're working for organizations like the CVS's and the Walgreens, and you're helping with the lab work as well.
Good. Yeah, that's helpful to know, because I know that we get a wide range of job seekers on this virtual career fair, with all backgrounds and all ages and all levels of experience. So that's helpful to mention too. Anything else, Anu, that you'd want to add to this before we wrap up with your section?
Oh, well, thank you again. No, at this time, we've got a number of different opportunities, as you can see, and just as Liz had called out as well, some things that weren't even mentioned on the slide itself, is some of them were up and coming. So I would encourage folks out there to continue to check our site, and if they're seeing something or if they're interested in something and have a keen interest, to please share their resume with me at the email I've provided at anupama.green@diasorin.com. And if we don't have an opportunity that matches that background at that time, I'd still be happy to connect with you to talk a little bit and learn a little bit about what you're looking for and how we can best partner together in the future.
That's great. Thank you very much for being part of the Minnesota manufacturing community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very excited to be here, and thank you again for putting this together and inviting me.
Yes. Let's move
Fantastic.
on.
Thank you.
We have Amber Newkirk with Sanimax here today. Amber, you're here.
I am here. Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. Happy to be able to celebrate Manufacturing this week and to talk about Sanimax. Kind of, we are really generally a kind of business that's hidden. Not a lot of people know that we exist, but we have a lot of different opportunities at all different skill levels that we really try to focus on. So if you want to go to the next slide, Liz. Sanimax, kind of who we are a global company. We are actually a family-owned company and have been in operation from the family for over 80 years. From a global perspective, we do function in 4 different countries. We are mainly headquartered out of Canada. We do have facilities here in the US, and then we also function in Colombia and in Brazil as well too. We, generally speaking, have about 17 different locations overall for our business, and we have over about 2,500 employees total as a company. Generally speaking, we are in the agri-food business. So really what our logo or our slogan is we are transformation champions, really classified as a recycling company. So we take a lot of agri-food type of materials from really various different businesses, and we're basically transforming those materials into completely new products, which then we sell those back out into the market. So generally, for company-wide, we basically recycle over 2 million tons of material every year to basically create new materials and sell those out. So something that we're really proud to do, something that we're really trying to make a footprint in the environment as well. The materials that we typically take on are materials that would typically go to landfills or totally be disregarded altogether. So something that we really try to focus on. So if you want to go to the next slide. This is kind of, we won't watch the video, but there is a video that's located on our careers page, which does go into a little bit more detail about our company and what Sanimax does with the materials and what is our core business. Something that also is on our career page that you could check out is we have macro career sites or micro career sites. They really go into detail on the different career avenues that the company has. So our company is really proud that we really own the process from beginning to end. So we have a procurement team that really procures the initial materials that we get. We own our own transportation departments, obviously going into then the manufacturing and actually the recycling process itself. And then we even have sales on the finished products ends of things too. So we have really career opportunities in every layer of our career in our business, which is something we're really proud about doing. So this really ties into our values as being a family-owned company. Something that the family really puts a lot of effort into is making sure that we're really living our values every day. So these are our 4 pillars of our values. Something that I always like to touch on, especially with COVID right now, the manufacturing industry is probably one that's pretty stable for the most part, especially during situations like we're in currently. For our business, we've seen influxes in production with the COVID crisis. So, certain parts of our business, like manufacturing, have seen major influxes in production levels, but other parts might see lower trends. So as we leveled these out as a business, we made a commitment to all of our employees saying we were not going to do any layoffs. We were going to make sure our employees had a position no matter what. Obviously, we're really trying to do what's right and show our employees that we cared. So If employees didn't have as much workload, we had them go into the environment and into the communities and do community service that we paid for. We just felt that that was our obligation, and that was something that we knew what was right to make sure our employees weren't losing their jobs, obviously. So something that we really take an effort into making sure we live are these values. We can go to the next slide. So why work for Sanimax? I know I gave a little bit of insight on kind of who Sanimax is. Really, our number one belief is obviously we are building a greener tomorrow for our generations to come. So we have a lot of green initiatives, and we are a green company. It's something obviously that's really what we do is make sure that we're providing that. As far as that goes, too, some other reasons for working for Sanimax. One other big one is we have a lot of different, like I said, from owning the process from start to finish. We have multiple professional advancement opportunities. We've had a lot of employees go from one department into a completely different department. We have one plant manager who actually started out as an HR director. So completely went from one department to another. We see that pretty often in our world. Once people start getting familiarized with the company, we are committed to them and finding different opportunities that they may be good at. So that's something that we really strive to do too. And just being a family-owned business, I think that helps making sure that our family owners are really interested in knowing what we're feeling out in the facilities, in the corporate offices, making sure that we're feeling heard, valued, respected for everything that we are putting into the company. Next slide. So like I kind of talked about already, kind of the why work for Sanimax, you will find a plethora of information on our careers page. You can go check out each one of those macro sites that will give you a little bit of information. It'll actually give you some information and some testimonials too from our current employees that are in each of the facilities. Right now in South St. Paul, our South St. Paul office or facility, there has about 100 employees, and they have all avenues of career opportunities. We put more specifically for the plant operations. We always have plant employee openings. But we also have maintenance technician positions. We have our own electrical services that we do internally, truck mechanics as well, diesel mechanics. We also have salespeople out of that location, engineers, HR. We have the full gamut there at this location as well too. So please, I would urge you to check out the video, learn a little bit more about Sanimax, what we have to offer, and then check out that career page.
Thank you, Amber.
Yeah.
Pat, do you have any questions for Sanimax?
At this time, I'm not seeing any questions. So do you have like entry level positions that would not require a specific degree, or?
Yeah, especially in the manufacturer and the plant facility itself. The plant workers, there's no requirements at all. Our industry is pretty unique. So we don't get a lot of people that have the experience level, that we typically have in our active employees. So we train internally for almost everything. Even the plant maintenance, the electrical, those don't require any 2-year degrees or anything like that. We will train as long as people have a willingness to learn, and obviously some foundational interest in maintenance and working on PMs, industrial equipment, things like that. Electrical, we don't require journeymanship either, but it is something that we obviously look for. A lot of our internal workings of our facilities are programmable logical things now, so working more on obviously programming. So we're looking for a little bit more of a skill set on PLCs and things like that for electrical technicians, but even then they don't require certain degrees.
That's really good to know. That's wonderful that you're willing to work with people on the job training. How about the mechanic? Does that require more of a degree as you come into the position?
The truck mechanics too, those do not either. We take people, again, from all skill levels. Obviously, ideal candidate would always be somebody with diesel mechanic background, but there are plenty of diesel mechanics out there that never went to school, that probably worked on cars for a majority of their career. We're fine with that too. We have done internships in the past too, where we've taken people with really no experience at all, people who have just decided to change careers altogether, or people out of high school. We've basically helped them with their program through educational assistance and things like that too, through internship programs.
This is all great information. I'm so glad to have you on here today, Amber, with Sanimax. There's one more question in the chat. Maybe you can answer that. But at this time, we need to move on, unfortunately. So thank you very much, Amber.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Let's go to Michael Foods. We have Eliza Tobone joining us today. Good morning, Eliza.
Good morning, Liz. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. So a little bit about Michael Foods. We're located in Gaylord, Minnesota, and so just south of the metro area, a little bit north of Mankato. We manufacture egg and potato products, and then some of our facilities across the United States do manufacture sausages and more. If you go to the next slide, Liz. Here in Gaylord, our primary focus is everything eggs, and so you've more than likely eaten our product at some point in time. We do liquid egg, hard-boiled egg, and then pre-cooked egg products, and so you'll see those all over in different markets. You can go to the next slide. A little overview about our Gaylord facility. We are the flagship for our entire organization, so we do about a third of the business right here out of our Gaylord location. That's about 500 million pounds of finished product each year, and we fill about 500 semi-trucks with product on a weekly basis, which is really pretty impressive. One of the things I think is really cool about Michael Foods in the Gaylord facility, most of the equipment is, just back one more slide, Liz, is designed specifically for Michael Foods. And so it's really unique to the product that we're making. Here in Gaylord, we employ about 530 employees. And I was just looking at some numbers the other day, and I thought it was impressive. We have 70 employees that have been here over 20 years. And they're all over the plant. We have them in the office. And so we're really proud to be a member of our community and employ as many employees as we do locally. You can go to the next slide. Some of the benefits in working for Michael Foods, we offer for those individuals who work full-time, you get a full benefits package. We have paid time off for employees. We have scholarship programs and internship programs in various departments, and so we're excited to offer that for our employees. And one of the things I think is really great about Michael Foods is that we offer a lot of promotion from within. And so if you start somewhere on the floor and you want to grow into other opportunities, really working with your supervisor to get the skill sets that you need. I think that's one of the coolest things that I see here at Michael Foods, is all the promoting from within. A lot of our supervisors or managers at one time started on the floor. And so I love to share their stories with people. We do have a sign-on bonus right now of $500 through the end of October. So if you were to apply and get hired, you would receive that after 90 days of employment. Next slide. So again, because we're manufacturing, we have several openings. Right now I'm looking for, in the production area, line workers, machine operators, packaging operators, processors, and then forklift operators. The pay for our positions is $14 to $16.40 an hour. We do offer shift differentials because we do operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so we do have individuals that like the shifts overnight, and so we like to recognize those individuals that are working those longer hours. And then we have full and part-time openings. And so if you know somebody that just wants to pick up a couple of hours after work and they're not really looking for a full-time job, they maybe have one already, this is a great opportunity for them to come work locally and get some experience and out on the production floor. I do hire for mechanics. We have openings for salaried positions like supervisors and managers, and that's also on our website. But my primary focus here in Gaylord is the entry-level roles. One of the things that we hear a lot from our employees, because a lot of our production roles are 12-hour shifts, is that it offers them, once they get acclimated to the schedule, it offers them a way to run errands and maintain appointments and do things at home, because they're typically working 2 days on, 2 days off, and every other weekend. So they really only work 50% of their year. So in a month period of time, you're only working 14 days. And so our employees really do enjoy that once they become acclimated to it. So that's a little bit about Michael Foods.
Thank you. Eliza, do you have an email address perhaps that someone can contact you for more information, or where do they go besides the career site?
Yes, so my direct dial is 507-237-4524, and my email is eliza.tobone@michaelfoods.com, and I'm happy to talk to anyone. I put my direct dial out on all the flyers and everything that we have, so feel free to call or reach out and email if you have any questions or if you'd like to talk through a position.
Great, thanks. And we'll put that in the chat in just a second. So how large is Michael Foods? I mean, did you say it's across the United States?
It is. We have facilities all over the United States. Yep.
And so how often does someone start in one location and then move somewhere completely different if they want to?
I don't see that as often. What I do see is that someone would, if you start out as a line worker on the production line, I do see people moving up into other roles very quickly, which is why I typically have line worker openings, because they start there, but usually within a few months, they're gaining the skills to move into other roles. And so they end up being an operator on, either a production machine or a packaging machine, excuse me. I've hired people that started in those roles and end up to be leads. And so there's a lot of growth from within.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think that's a sign of a strong company when they recognize good talent.
Yes, and it usually, like I said, it usually happens pretty quickly. It's usually within, I would say, 3 to 4 months, I've seen people move up fairly quickly.
Good. We've got a couple of questions in the chat. Are there any project management or project coordinator opportunities or HR positions?
That would be on our corporate website if we had that. So you would just go to michaelfoods.com and search the openings in an area that you're willing to commute to. We do have 3 farms in the area in LeSueur, and then 1 right here in Gaylord. And then we have a corporate office in Minnetonka. And so there's several locations within the metro that you could end up working for Michael Foods.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Other things you want to tell us? How are you guys doing with COVID and social distancing of your workers? What are some of the things that you've been putting in place?
So we really value our workers, and we want to keep them in a safe environment. And being we are in food production, it's vital that we remain open and that we stay functioning during this time. And so we of course have implemented the mask mandate, and so everyone has to wear a mask when they're on the site. We limited our number of visitors, and so we don't allow for people to just come in. And so it's unfortunate you can't do things like the tour of manufacturing, because we'd get a lot of people coming in curious about who we are during those times, but it is a way to keep our employees safe. We have changed up our cafeteria area so that when employees are eating, they're actually socially distanced, first of all, but then we have some plexiglass on our tables so that they're not sitting right next to someone eating without their mask on. We have individuals that go through the facility and wipe down every door handle, every railing, every day, all day long. That's all they do. And so we've done a lot of things to really make an effort to keep our employees safe during this trying time.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Anything else you want to add?
No, I would really love to see people apply or reach out with questions or to talk through jobs. One of the things I really value about Michael Foods is how much they do care for their employees and that they really want to maintain that healthy work-life balance. And we have a lot of different ways that we can do that and support individuals if they're looking for work. And so I'd love to have some people reach out.
Great, thank you. Yeah, we've put your phone number and your email address in the Q&A area so people can grab it off of that. Thank you. And thank you to all 5 of our companies, FASTENAL, Marvin, Diasorin, Sanimax, and Michael Foods. It was so great to have you. We're going to continue the manufacturing focus next Monday, October 12th. Same time, 10:30 a.m. Just because there are so many manufacturers who are interested in getting the word out there. And as you've seen with this call too, there are so many different types of jobs between the professional, the scientific, the HR, the machinist, the entry level. There's so many that are available. So Minnesota, highly values its manufacturers. So take a look and see if there are any virtual manufacturing tours taking place in your area. Let me know if you need help with any of that information. I also wanted to put out a reminder to everyone that you should check out this particular website, careerforcemn.com/attend-career-fair networking-event. It's long, I know. But Minnesota employers and Minnesota workforce organizations are posting their hiring events, their job fairs, their interview opportunities on a daily basis. And so this is a snapshot that I just took this morning of today, tomorrow through Thursday, different events going on with all sorts of industries. So please bookmark that page and keep an eye on that for events in your area. As always, you can follow CareerForce MN on social media. Our communications department does a fabulous job in letting you know which job clubs, which virtual career fairs, which facts and different articles that are being produced. So keep in touch with us through that. And you can always email me, liz.jennings@state.mn.us, or contact the CareerForce Help Desk Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. I've got a fantastic team of coworkers who are always willing and there to help you. So please get in touch with any of the companies that were on this morning's call and join again next week, October 12th, for continuing the manufacturing virtual career fair. Thank you. Goodbye.